Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday Night Skippys. Sorry for the short technical delay, but we are back now on the grid here and ready for the finale. It is 6 points between championship leader Tom Ward and second place Stuart Adcock, and it could all come down to this race. Ward, he's qualified in 6th. Adcock right beside him in 7th place. This one is tight, and you know what? It's so tight, we'll look at the front of the grid. In fact, we'll show you those positions really quickly now on your screen. Antonides in first place. Minute time ahead of Simon Edwards. Both scored the 28.371. Third place, Willett, Bontemps in 4th, Watson in 5th, Ward and Adcock 6th, 7th. Behind them, it's Edwards, Leach, and Fraser. Rest of the results on your screen as we get ready for this one. And honestly, Connery, this is it. The 2 championship contenders back in the pack. We've got a race in our hands.
Yep, Tom Ward, Stuart Adcock. It is a duel for the final race of the season. No one else can even mathematically win the championship. It's just these 2 drivers to decide it between themselves. And even if Stuart Adcock wins this race, he still needs Tom Ward to finish 3rd and below.
He certainly does. And wow, we're looking forward to seeing what will happen in this one because it is going to be huge. I cannot wait to see what happens, Connery. It's going to be massive.
Yeah, 6 points separate those 2 drivers coming into this final race. And, well, the further down the field they are, it's more work that Adcock has to do.
Green flag will fly. Monday Night Skippys, round number 12 is green. And we'll see what will happen in today's monumental race we have on our hands. Antonides and Edwards, so close. Antonides are always a fantastic qualifier here at Bathurst. We held corner, first corner there. And there was already a bit of a tussle between Ward and Adcock. Ward wins out though, he's just gotten ahead. In fact, it cost a bit of time there to Adcock as Scott Edwards gets alongside him as they got mounted straight and early for the lead there. Edwards challenging Antonides, Connery.
Yep, exactly, side by side, heading in towards Griffin's corner, starting to go up the hill here at Bathurst. They go side by side ahead, behind as well, between Neil Bontemps and the driver of Nick Watson ahead, and side by side through the right-hander going up the hill here. More side by side back in the pack though. Stuart Adcock was momentarily side by side with Scott Edwards, but Edwards now side by side with Andrew S. Leach down in the field there, as most of the front of your field are single file heading up the hill, but this is where it gets all congested, and major incidents can happen if someone's stranded in the middle of the track. But we don't see one just yet.
We don't indeed, and wow, Paul Thurston back in 23rd place. Not a great qualifying from him. Was in fact open qualifying, so times are all over the place in fact. And this race is going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see what happens here, Connery. And well, the times were very spread out in this. Normally we look at our second bracket of how many cars within 1 second of your pole time. Today, not that many. 13th place. Only 13 cars. This track separates everybody. The time variation is huge. The field is massive. We've got 48 cars here today. It's going to be a cracking race. Up front, it is Simon Edwards stretching his legs here ahead of Fahim Antonides on the run across the top of the mountain. Tom Ward's right up behind them. So is Stuart Adcock. But the thing is, it's easy to pass for first and second, Connery. Passing further back in the pack is much harder. It means Tom Ward's going to have to try and make some risky moves here. And something tells me this race, he's either going to win it or he's not going to finish.
Yeah, and draft passing is going to be so important. There's 2 wide, 3 rows deep, on the Conrod straight, heading down towards this little right-hand kink here. Change for position at the front. It's going to be Fahim Antonides to the pointy end of the field after he qualified on pole as they hit single file through the S's section right now. And this is just going to be a theme throughout the entirety of this race. It's basically kind of like super speedway drafting for these Skippys down these very long straights here at Bathurst. Is Tom Ward going to make the move down the inside of Willett, coming down into the last corner? Nope. He had a little bit of a think about it, and he's going to try and make it work on the exit here. But there's Stuart Adcock. Can he get past Tom Ward? This is crucial for his championship.
Certainly is, and Adcock's boxed in there right behind the 13 of Willett. Looks like Tom Ward has the inside line there. It'll be advantage, but it could be a better run through the corner. It is a better run there for Stuart Adcock. Easy better run for him as he's going to try and make the move to the outside of Ward, gets alongside him. And these two, this is vital. This is for your championship here. And look at like 3rd place. Watson fighting with Edwards for 2nd. Things hotting up there. Mark Mercer in the field as well, back in 9th place, leading the train there with Bill Fraser, Andrew Leach, Patrick Fairbanks, Anthony Catt, and Steve Hefford, who's back in this one today. He needs to be back in the race, of course, because he's fighting for points with Paul Thurston in terms of top 10 finishing spots, so this will be interesting for him. Looks like we've got some Motley moving forwards there as well. We'll keep our eyes, of course, on the Thurston clock. We look at it always, every single week these days. He's so far made no spots up, but looking like he's just behind a big train of cars, and We know how fast problems can evolve here at Bathurst, Connery, and cause some major position changes.
Yeah, if there's any incident on this tight and twisty section on the mountain, it can basically cause a backlog, and where people just have to absolutely slam on the brakes to try and stop a further incident from occurring. And we saw that a couple of seasons ago, in fact, with a major incident on this very, very hilly track that backed up the whole field pretty much coming onto the first lap. But it's good to see that we haven't had such incidents so far of this race, as Female is actually on this mountain section. He's extending the gap, but I don't think he's doing it enough to break the draft, because the draft goes from so far back here because of the long straights and how much time you're on 100% throttle.
It does indeed. Look at this one. Adcock going to have the draft though from Woollett, which will help him there fighting off Tom Ward. As for second place, the fight goes in, and I think it actually might be enough distance here for Antonidas to stay out front. That could be important. In fact, look at this. Adcock's going to put another position here on Tom Ward. I don't think Ward will get through as well, unless he makes a very brave move. And that's separation that Stuart Adcock really needs in this race. If he can make a couple more places up and Tom Ward can't, this is absolutely vital for him, Connery, in his championship hopes. Because right now, if it is 1-2, with Stuart Adcock in first and Tom Ward in second, Tom Ward still wins. But if he's any further back, it's all Stuart Adcock. So this one is a huge, huge race for us today. Thank you to everybody here who's watching, everyone joining us from home. It's going to be a fantastic race here today. We didn't get a chance to mention it because we came live very quickly, but we have 10 laps of racing here today at the mountain. We're on to lap number 3 now. Well, the conditions, they are absolutely perfect. Almost standard weather for the moment. Exactly what you want for racing. And Tom Ward's going to make a move on Woollett as they go for the mountain straight.
Yeah, he's looking for the inside line coming into Griffins, but he doesn't really have that much of an overseat. And in fact, he's losing ground now to Woollett, coming down in towards the braking zone of the Griffins corners. Actually challenged for the race lead right now between Simon Eddowes and Fee Antonidas, as actually that was a delayed move for Tom Ward down the inside of Woollett there, up one position, now onto the back of not Mick Watson, Stuart Adcock, as they head up in towards the cutting now, as Watson has to hang around the outside. Yeah, compromise line into the cutting, and Stuart Adcock looking for the position. He's trying to put cars in between him and Tom Ward, but it's not working right now. Tom Ward's alongside.
He was for a second, but Tom Ward now back behind him. Shouldn't really see a pass across the top of the mountain. Things stay fairly calm up here. We'll take a look back at your groupings. Simon Maltby back there in a 16 car, just ahead of Robert Plumley, just behind Darrell Taylor in this one, and things are looking reasonably good for them at the moment. Maltby in good shape here, 18th place, dropped one spot from where he started, but got good speed today looking at his times, so it could be a good one for him. We'll keep our eyes on that one. Paul Thurston, where is he? Still back in 23rd place. Not doing as well as he thought. He's a good runner here at Bathurst normally, Connery, and we're surprised by how far down the field he's qualified and how patient he's being. I think he wants the points more than anything to try and survive the race.
Yeah, and yes, just let's be a little bit careful here, because he risks losing the draft to the group ahead. There's actually Nicholas Vaughan Roberts, the car directly ahead of him, just had a little bit of trouble coming into the Forest Elbow there with a little bit of a lockup, losing some momentum. So the person just going to be sitting inside his slipstream now as challenge for the race lead again. This is coming on the end of the Conrod straight into the kink. This is Fee Antonidas going back to the race lead, side by side behind the load between Stuart Adcock and Mick Watson. Now deep on the brakes into the S's he goes, and Adcock struggling to make the apex. He's going to hash to push a little bit wide. Careful rejoining here, Stuart Adcock, and he does carefully rejoin. Tom Ward also pushes wide over the curb as well, but now there's a car in between Ward and Adcock, except it was the other way around to what it was a few laps ago.
It certainly has been. That was very nearly a big mistake there. Adcock forced to go in deep from a shallow angle there to the cutting, to the chase. Not what he wanted to do, and that has been advantage there to Tom Ward. Now behind Mick Watson. The fight is furious back here for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th places of this field. They've all bunched back up again. Mark Mercer joining the party here, so we'll see what he can do. He's looking at Adcock now to try and make a move, as Tom Ward will go for Watson very aggressively, very early. As once again, it's Antonidas and Edwards fighting up front, but it's going to be easy passing for them as they're in clean air. Just behind them, though, things are getting very tight.
Yep, they are, and the group behind is just risking losing the draft to the top 2 right now if they haven't lost it already. Tom Ward up into P number 3 now, and it's going to be Stuart Adcock having to negotiate 2 cars before he even thinks about passing Tom Ward, and then putting even more cars between himself and Tom Ward as they head into the cutting right now. Stuart Adcock has to go around the outside. That's not the ideal line going through there, but it switches back towards the inside, and maybe he can make something work here on Mick Watson. But all the time he's going side by side with cars, there's more time he's losing to the leaders, more time he's losing to Tom Ward, and the further the championship slips from his grasp.
Certainly does, but he should be in a good place. But look at this, he runs slower on the outside. Mark Mercer getting up closer now. This is making things very difficult for him. Watson actually kind of holding him up, I think, at that point in time, as he's trying to look for any way possibly past. He sees Tom Ward slipping off into the distance. He wants this one badly, but not going to be close enough yet. Just cannot quite get there to do it. Oh, this could be heartbreak here for Stuart Adcock as he sees his chances slipping away. Tom Ward, though, up into a very comfortable 3rd place there, ahead of Mick Watson. And, well, that's looking... No, it's Matthew Willett, sorry, I apologise. Not going to be much threat for him now until he gets up towards Edwards and Antonides, and Tom Ward gets out front. It's going to be big problems for everybody.
Yeah, it really is, and I think Watson and Adcock have, well, they're just on the curtails of the draft here for the group ahead of them. Side by side for the race lead, those side by side for 3rd place as they swap positions again at the front of the field. They're just trying to work together, perhaps, to try and break away from everyone else. But this is not looking good right now for Stuart Adcock as there's contact a bit behind him. That's Mark Mercer getting into the back of Mick Watson. I think Mick Watson has some damaged rear suspension with the way that car is just sliding about right now. Yes, it does look like he has some major damage to the rear end of that car, and Mark Mercer has to take avoiding action because Watson was slow on entry, and now there's a whole gaggle of cars behind Mark Mercer, and Adcock is now pretty much in no man's land between 2 packs.
Certainly is, and that's going to make things very interesting. Watson stopped, actually. Watson's pulled his car off the track, so that's going to change things dramatically for those guys. He's now out of the running, and, well, it's Mark Mercer ahead of Bill Fraser up in the 6th spot. Stuart Adcock now, nothing between him and Tom Ward, as he's going to have to somehow find a way up there. The gap is huge behind and in front of him. It's a second either direction there, Connery, and that's going to cost him a lot. No one to draft with as Bill Fraser drafts past Mark Mercer behind him. Not a lot left to make up this time. 6 laps remaining in the race, and it's all slipping away now.
Yeah, but it is. He's just on the edge of the draft here. He's gaining a couple of kilometers an hour, and that's about it. Coming down the straights here, so he needs to be much, much closer. He needs to make these non-draft dependent sections work for him, like the section that he's on right now, basically Monaco on a hill right here. And he also risks being caught by Bill Fraser's train as well, including Mark Mercer, Fairbanks, Bontemps, and Leach. And again, as I said, it just does not look good for Stuart Adcock right now. Tom Ward is doing all he needs to do right now to come away with yet another championship, but not like he did last season though. He absolutely dominated that season, but this one's a bit closer, and it didn't end after like 10 races.
Absolutely not. And well, Stuart Adcock's working hard to make up time across the top of the mountain. Bill Fraser catching up though as well. That could be a help if he gets within draft range. Bill Fraser will help him get forwards. Of course, that is if they actually play well together. Stuart Adcock with a good run round Forest Elbow there. Good run down the Conrad Straight, but looking behind him, Paul Thurston, he's up now into the 19th place after a couple of retirements, so he's now in points, which is where he wants to be. Up ahead of him by about a second, you have the cars of Ewan Patterson, Simon Maltby, and Peter Cowan. That could make things more interesting. And his teammate Darrell Taylor up there fighting with Cowan, and just behind Robert Plumley, who is up in the 14th spot. In fact, Plumley getting past there the car of Darrell Taylor.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of position swapping in the second pack as well as Tom Ward. Tom Ward actually had to run wide coming out of the chase, and that's Stuart Adcock now ahead. This has changed everything.
Oh, it has indeed. Stuart Adcock gets past Tom Ward, who looks actually kind of slow there, as he's now right in the clutches of Bill Fraser, who, if he gets his teeth into him, as Fraser runs wide, Mark Mercer goes through, as does the car of Neil Bontemps. Oh, if Mark Mercer can get up to Tom Ward here, Connery, he's going to have him for breakfast. Mark Mercer, a veteran of the series, and definitely no slow coach. If he can catch up there to Tom Ward, yeah, this could make real problems for your defending champion.
Yeah, Mark Mercer is one of those drivers that has won many of these championships in its early days, and well, he will definitely take no prisoners, even though Tom Ward is a multiple champion. He just thinks it's another car on track to go side by side with and get past, as he is well within the draft here. And this is Stuart Adcock's opportunity now to try and just get away and just hope that Mercer and Bontemps manage to catch up to the back of Tom Ward and make his life difficult.
It certainly could, and well, if they get into a fight, it could definitely be a bloody one, as there's 3-4 cars there making up time. It looks like oh, I heard an engine pop somewhere. Not sure where that was. I think it was a bit further back in our field, but I heard a car go kaboom, and that was Nicholas Vaughan Roberts who's lost his engine. And Paul Thurston is out. No problems. We'll have a look back and see what happened. Yeah, we had an incident on the racetrack. Oh, a car lost it. Came back across the track and clipped Thurston. Oh, put him into the wall there, climbing up the mountain. Vaughan Roberts and Thurston are out of the race. Unfortunate end for those two drivers, and Paul Thurston got to hope he has enough points to stay in the top 10 in the championship standings, which will be huge for him, of course. Stuart Adcock, the gap coming down now. Tom Ward is pushing hard here. This could actually be his undoing at the moment, as, oh, a big lock up there by Stuart Adcock running through Forest Elbow here on lap number 6. Tom Ward, though, he's absolutely hammering this, Connery. If he keeps pushing this hard, he could make an unforced error.
Yeah, he knows how important this is. Even though Stuart Adcock is ahead of him right now on the track, he will still take the championship if they finish as they stand right now, as they've stopped positions yet again coming into for the lead coming into the chase. As Tom Ward now well within the draft of Adcock. Will he sling it down the inside into the chase? No, he will not. He'll just stick behind just for now, and he's already made one unforced error so far this race, and this is the exact part of the track he did it. And will he make a pass coming down into the final turn here? He goes towards the inside, but that was defended there for Stuart Adcock, because Adcock's going to have to miss the apex, push a little bit wide here, and Tom Ward will get the run off the corner, making it side by side across the line, and he has the inside line into turn 1 as well.
Oh, this is fantastic, Connery. Tom Ward and Stuart Adcock here are duking this one out hugely, although Ward's going to lose some speed, as he absolutely does there, taking a tight line. Adcock had the perfect defensive position. He knew he lost momentum, but he got it back very rapidly there. Tom Ward losing out, and I think Tom Ward realizes if Bontemps and Mercer get up to him, he's in real trouble. This is why he's pushing so hard, not to get ahead of Stuart Adcock, but to stay ahead of Bontemps and Mercer.
Yeah, exactly, and he's basically watching his mirrors more than he's watching Stuart Adcock right now, as he tries around the outside at Griffin's Bend, coming up the hill, and it's going to be a little bit of a switchback here for Tom Ward, but on the outside is not where you want to be for the likes of the cutting, which they're coming up to right now. And look, Neil Bontemps, Mark Mercer, Patrick Fairbanks, loads of cars right on the back of these two right now. This is not what Tom Ward needs. He needs to get to the front of this pack now.
Fighting up the hill, though, not a wise move. This is sparking desperation here from Tom Ward. He looks like he's actually desperate at the moment, Connery. You don't normally see cars racing this hard up the mountain and trying to make passes on the top of the mountain. I think he's scared of those cars behind him and what that means for his race.
Yeah, as I mentioned, if it finishes as it is right now, he wins. But the thing is, he can't afford any of the cars behind him to make any moves on him and maybe tag him around into a barrier somewhere. So he is very, very nervous right now. He said he was nervous before this race even started over the driver radio. And I think that is what we're seeing right now.
Absolutely, where a final round of a season could come to Bathurst, you know you're going to have very nervous drivers throughout your field here, as we expect Tom Ward to make a move on Adcock, this time down Conrod Straight. In fact, it's going to be very early actually from Tom Ward. This could actually be cycled back to Stuart Adcock as well, but honestly, yeah, I'd be scared of this sort of track. This is not a place you want to have the fate of your championship in the hands of a circuit, and when it's a circuit like Bathurst, you know you're in real trouble. Up front, we're not going to really look at that too much right now because it's still fairly calm, but here comes the car of Bontemps. Actually, he's really catching up here, as up the inside is Tom Ward. Will he be forced, though, to go wide, having a tight entry? Not quite, holds it just, but momentum back to Adcock, because it's going to be 3 wide towards the final corner. Backs out, Bontemps will back out, and the opportunity there, Mercer's going to take the inside line as Adcock runs round the outside of Ward, and look at this, the pack are on him now. Mark Mercer up alongside Tom Ward, not what he wanted at all. Inside line there for Adcock, who's going to probably sweep back across to go for it, but not too far as to give Ward an opening. And he does it. But here's Mark Mercer alongside with Tom Ward on to lap number 8 here. 3 laps remaining in this motor race. 3 laps and the championship will be decided, and Mark Mercer is making his presence known. Bontemps has crashed. We've lost Neil Bontemps. That was back in the first corner. We'll take a very brief look. No, it was through the final corner he had a crash. He lost it on his own, hit Patrick Fairbanks, hit a car that was behind them. I believe that was the number 20 car belonging to Anthony Catt. Oh, big problems there for Bontemps, but this is definitely really Mark Mercer. He's still alongside Tom Ward up here, battling for the 4th, 5th and 6th place. And Mercer's really putting the pressure on now. Mercer's got nothing to play for. Mercer just wants to get the win or points in the bag this race. He doesn't care about the championship. He's racing hard. And behind them is Fairbanks. I believe that is Edwards joining up there with Mark Mercer, Tom Ward and Stuart Adcock. And this one's heating up.
Yeah, it really is, but thing is, it's running out of time here for Stuart Adcock. He needs more cars in between himself and Tom Ward, and not just one. He pretty much needs all of this train that's following him right now to be in between himself and Tom Ward in a bit of an Adcock and Tom Ward sandwich. That's what he needs right now, but it's not happening just yet with 2.5 laps to go for these guys as they head down through Skyline and down the mountain now, and it's still not going to be the situation that Stuart Adcock needs. He needs Mercer to be aggressive. He needs Fairbanks, Edwards and Leach to all just make Tom Ward's life hell if he wants to take this championship.
You know, as Tom Ward is a fantastic driver. He's a fast driver, Connery, but you put him in a high-pressure situation, and we've seen a lot of mistakes from him. So this is the sort of situation where, you know, I think he realizes that, and he is nervous as he makes the move there on Stuart Adcock. But Adcock looks like he might actually be set to make a comeback on the straight. Oh, he's off! Tom Ward is off! And Mark Mercer down 2. Huge crash! Oh my God! That is monumental. Mark Mercer nearly does the Bathurst jump there. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, we've just seen a championship go the way we thought it might. We need to show a replay of this one right now from halfway up Conrod Straight. That is huge. And it was just as he tucks back in behind him, Stuart Adcock tucks in behind the car of Tom Ward, and oh, there was slight contact as he goes to pull out to go up the inside into the kink. There's a slight contact and it tips Tom Ward into the barrier, and Ward's car rolls over and over and over and over. That was massive. That was almost something like Fabian Coulthard's big crash here at Bathurst in the V8 Supercars, Connery, where he literally barrel rolled in exactly the same fashion across that very same sand trap, ripping the bodywork from his supercar. Tom Ward will limp his car onto pit road with a championship in shreds. Tom Ward, your defending champion, defending no longer. It looks as though, oh my God, actually, Adcock is down in 14th. He's on pit road too. I think he's retired his car.
Is that like a sporting behavior?
Retired.
No, he's coming off track now. He's coming out of the pit lane next to Tom Ward.
Yes, he's letting it continue. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the finest examples of sporting behavior I've seen in a motor race. Stuart Adcock voluntarily went down pit road after he knew he tagged Tom Ward, waited for him at the end of pit road for Tom Ward to get his replacement car so they can race this championship out. They will come out in about 14th to 15th place, and honestly, that is incredible. That is absolutely incredible from these guys. I've never seen something quite like that, as honestly, 3 wide now up through the 3rd corner here. Ward, Adcock, and I think that is actually the 14 car, so we'll work out exactly where they are in the running order.
That's your race admin, Alan Patterson, so he might have something to say about this at the end.
That is down in 26th place, so they're actually both out of the points at this stage. So as it goes, Ward still wins the race. I think that's it. He took himself out of the points to make this one fair. If they can race themselves back into the points, this will be a race that's on, but oh my gosh, what a huge crash we saw. A championship we thought was in shreds, and Stuart Adcock potentially gives his championship away to do the right thing. What an incredible turn of events, Connery.
I don't really have any words for that, Rachel. I don't know if you do, but that was, I gotta say, Stuart Adcock,
down the dipper.
Yeah, and he does, and well, you've got to just applaud Stuart Adcock for that, because he knew he made a mistake. He knew that incident was all his fault. One of the biggest incidents that we've seen ever here in the Monday Night Skippys coming down Conroe Straights, and he knew he did wrong, and you just got to admire him for just taking the very gentleman option right there. And let's just have a little fun side-by-side battle for the rest of the race, shall we say, as we're on the 2nd to last lap here.
We certainly will. Just have a little bit further up the field, actually. Robert Plumley fighting here with Simon Maltby. They're both in 9th and 8th place here. And it's going to be 3 wide there as Daryl Taylor joins them running up Mountain Straight. There's a bit of action just inside your top 10. As what a change of events we've just seen there. That is absolutely incredible. Mark Mercer's actually got himself a... no, not got a new car. His car's missing his front wing and nose cone. He's going to have very drafty feet. But this has just been absolutely dramatic. And honestly, I am so impressed to see that. That was incredible in terms of things we see racing. Stuart Adcock's still ahead here. In fact, they are scored now down in 23rd and 24th place, as they're still going to fight it out here. They know they're really not in the points anymore. They know this one's over, but honestly, that's incredible. And this is what sums up for me, Connery, Monday Night Skippies. This is a club motorsport series, and they race like a club motorsport series. He wasn't given a penalty by administration. He took it himself. He did the right thing. And now here we are, 2 warriors, 2 drivers, both capable of winning this championship, both out of the points, but they are both racing each other now for the love of racing and the love of motorsports on this final lap here at Bathurst. Out front, we're actually coming down through Forest Elbow now. We'll switch to your leaders. Simon Edwards and Fahim Antonides now running down the Conrod straight here, and it's Simon Edwards out front with Fahim Antonides in 2nd place. Antonides going to jump into the draft here, and he waited long enough for it to be 1 draft before the end of the straight, as you know you can get 2. And he pulls to the inside of the kink, and he should have the line here. Will Edwards be able to reply is the question. Antonides has played this one perfectly with the timing, as we'll see if Edwards can get a good run here. Defensive line by Antonides. Looks like it will be one of the previous best runners in this series, taking the flag here at Bathurst, as it's going to be 2 wide now. Running down to the final corner, under the Armour All Bridge, Adcock and Edwards. No, Antonides and Edwards, sorry, for your race win through the final corner. And Fahim ahead by a car length under the bridge, and Fahim Antonides will take the win. Simon Edwards in 2nd place. Matthew Woolett comes across 3rd, with Scott Edwards going to come home in 4th, and Andrew Leach in 5th place. I don't think Patrick Fairbanks actually will finish this race, as we'll have a quick look back. I'm not sure if anybody else will not finish in this one, because it could push Adcock and Ward back into the points. They're going to come down now. We'll go back to them on the cameras under the Jim Beam Bridge there on Conrod. And it's going to be the 2 drivers. Ward's going to cut the gap there through the car. They're going to come up the straight now towards the kink of the Fuso Bridge. And now down towards the cutting, and Tom Ward ahead of Adcock. Adcock's going to have to go for a big run here. The dusty Conrod straight, and up the inside he'll go. Stuart Adcock to the inside. The race of honour here through the chase for the final time. Stuart Adcock up ahead. And this actually might promote them just into the points, but it will not be enough down at this sort of level of the points to actually make a difference in the standings. As through the final corner they will come, Stuart Adcock ahead of Tom Ward. But Tom Ward will clinch the championship here in round number 12 as they cross the line in 21st and 22nd place. Connery, I've seen many races in my time as a commentator, and frankly, that was one of my favourites.
Yeah, I too haven't seen anything like that at all. I mean, it just goes to show how brilliant the racing here is in the UK&I club and in the UK&I and in the Monday Night Skippies, and how these drivers, well, there's not really any grudges between drivers, shall we say. But Stuart Adcock, I guess you just have to take a bow, and he took that one on the chin. And as I said, he knew he did wrong, and he rectified it.
You certainly did. And well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to run through your final race positions here today and give you a rundown on round number 12. Coming home with the win today, Fahim Antonides comes home just ahead of Simon Edwards in 2nd place. 3rd place goes to Matthew Woolett. Scott Edwards in 4th, with Andrew Leach in 5th. Christopher Cash in 6th place. Maltby in 7th, with Plumley, Daryl Taylor and Mark Mercer in 10th. Behind them, Josh Thompson, Brian Holmes, Nick Seggy, Bill Fraser, Anthony Catt, Doug Pickering, Tim Adcock, Dave M. Dowson, Ewan Patterson, and Aidan Wenman in 20th place. Rest of the positions on your screen. We're going to get some interviews now from the drivers post-race here on Monday Night Skippies. It's been a fantastic race today. First one up is Matthew Woolett. Matthew, 3rd place, podium in the final round here at Bathurst. How does it feel?
Hey, Rachel.
Once again, hey, we have got you here. So how was that 3rd place in the final round?
Sorry about that. I had to swap the old headset around. No, it was really, really good. Happy with the podium place. Big improvement on the last race being top 10 only. Shame I couldn't fight it on with Tom Ward. I was looking forward to that. Bit of slipstreaming to catch up with the second and first because they were another class.
They absolutely were, but incredible race as well, and pressure relieved with the big crash just behind you. What did you think when all those cars suddenly got tangled up?
To be honest, I didn't see it. All I did was I looked down on the old drift and saw that they were 3 seconds behind, and it's a bit of a sigh of relief, to be honest, coming down that hill. Saving from 10 times going down the hill with direct pressure constantly. It's a hard track.
It certainly is. You may want to watch that one back afterwards because we had a Fabian Coulthard-esque crash from Tom Ward coming through the kink there towards the end. But honestly, incredible run from you today. Congratulations on the podium.
Thanks, Rachel. Thanks very much.
Next up, we've got Simon Maltby here today, who came home in 7th place. Fantastic result for you, Simon. Got to feel good to be back in the top 10.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. I really felt good today for a change and had a bit of luck. No major incidents and some really close racing. So yeah, chuffed to bits. Thank you very much.
Incredible run from you, 7th place there, and we'll have a quick look to see actually where you end up in the points overall. You were 15th place before this round with 10 starts. This one actually could help you out actually with a couple of points there, so you might see you moving up a couple of spots.
Yeah, it's been a terrible season though overall. I mean, I've been happy with 13th and 14th places, so to have a 7 on there, yeah, that's good. A nice way to end. Thank you.
Absolutely cracking result there. Congratulations, Simon Maltby. Next up, and what seems to be finally, we have a chat with Doug Pickering here. Doug came home today in 16th place. You've not been running too many rounds this season, Doug, but you seem to have clicked with this Skip Barber car today for you. It's been a good season, well, the races you've run, and today, 16th place, high.
Oh yeah, I'm pleased with that. Started at the back and knew it was going to be carnage and just waited for everybody to fall off the track. Pretty quiet race, really.
My gosh, actually, you did. You're up 24 places, actually, from what I'm seeing here. Started in 40th, finished in 16th. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I run the last 4 rounds. I'm intending to run this pretty much full time now, so I need to brush up on my road skills. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. Thanks to Alan Patterson for organising it. It's really, really good.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like you had a good run today, and hopefully we'll see a lot from you next season.
Cheers, Rachel.
Well, finally, we've got Barry West, although I suspect Paul Thurston may be along at some point. But Barry, trying to find out actually where you came home today. I don't think it was as bad for you as it might have been, although judging by the snicker there. 25th place, started 27th, so you gained spots at least today.
Yes, but I had to pit. I glanced the wall on the first lap, got away with it, and then I just touched it again at Falcon on the second lap. And yeah, if the car felt all right, but it said I was losing fluids, so I thought best to pit. So I had to pit, and then came out in 44th, I think. And then there was an interesting battle on the last lap between 4 people, and then coming out last corner, I was in 24th, and Mr. Gear, so Charles Kellyman got me on the last corner. But yeah, it's quite a lonely race, really. It was good to be alone on that track. I mean, I was doing qualifying laps all the time, beating me qualifying time. But yeah, not to be. Next season, if the points change, I might get a bit more, but I'd only done 10 laps practice here, so we need to do more than 10 laps to get a good result here, I think.
Yeah, I think Bathurst is one of those tracks that demands a little bit more practice, perhaps.
Yes, yeah. Paul there didn't survive, I don't think. But Darryl, our other teammate, he did really well, came 10th, I think. So yeah, he did good, but Paul not with us yet.
So you did, of course. Well, thanks for joining us, Barry West. And, well, we do actually have your teammate here today, Paul Thurston. He didn't finish where he wanted to. In fact, a big crash in turn 3 might have cost you a chance at a points finish today, Paul. But you fought on, and I think you still have secured a top 10 championship finish.
Yeah, I think I was lucky in that Steve Hefford was unlucky. I overtook him early on. I think he finished behind me, which means I probably got the top 10. Which is, but it was, yeah, as I said to you last week, I mean, Bathurst isn't always kind to me, but then that's true of everybody. It's a really difficult place to race at. I was unlucky in that I was following the 2 guys. Now I managed to get past them when they made a mistake, but then made a silly mistake into the last corner. Just managed to miss the wall, so I didn't damage the car, and I was quite relieved at that. Then coming down to third three, one of them in the front basically just sort of made the classic mistake there and just ended up in the wall. I've done it a couple of times in practice. We all do it. That's life. It's racing, isn't it? That was a racing incident. And I came out, I took the repair and came out right behind him again. So, but then I got caught up in a little bit of traffic and he disappeared into the distance. So, and then on the last lap, I sort of I bent my front wheel going up the hill. So, no, it's compared to previous seasons, it's a very good season. I mean, top 10 is in this company, as I keep saying. I mean, it's such a strong league. There are some people who are really quick racing in this league, who, of course, I hope will be racing in the World Cup over the next month or so. Get the advert in there.
Give us your pitch. Come on, tell us about the World Cup.
The World Cup, basically, anybody UK&I, anybody who isn't UK&I, obviously there is no World Cup and don't bother to turn up.
Don't do that, Paul. Come on.
No, World Cup's coming up. 16th September, the qualifying week starts. Now it's the Corvette C7 DP on the roadside, and it's the Gen 6 on the ovals. Honestly, I can't actually remember the oval ones. I know Dover. Dover's the second race.
And Chicago.
In Chicago, thank you. And there's three of them. But basically, from the 16th of September, anybody UK&I, you've got to enter the league. Go on the forum. I'm getting full details on the forum of what you need to do. It's not much, and then you go in qualifying the week from the 16th of September, and then the top 20, top 20 fastest drivers of each discipline, oval and road, get to race in the races, and we're racing up to 4 knockout races, and hopefully we'll be there for the final on October the 7th. The races are on Saturdays. It's going to be absolutely stonking fun. It always is. Even if you're not fast, just turn up. Have a go. I'll be having a go. I won't be fast. And anybody UK&I, as I say, come to the forums, go to the Facebook page, and just check in. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, guys. Can I just
Absolutely
put in here
cracking
and to
result from
say
there, but Connery, go ahead.
it wasn't actually Chicago. It's actually Fontana Auto Club. So there we go.
I thought that one.
Well,
I
he's a
thought I
roadie. He's not
recognised that
expected
one.
to know his oval stuff.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
Well, anyway, folks, it's been great having you here. Don't not forget, next week we are off because it's week 13, but you can join us again in 2 weeks' time when the next season will start for Monday Night Skippies. It has been a fantastic season. We have loved having you here at RaceSpot TV and iRacing Live. I've been Rachel White, and I've been joined by Connery Maddock, Linus Brostrom, and, of course, the amazing Hugo Luis on the cameras. Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great night.